EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said, okay, we all should play. Hot potato, whoever got the hottest vibe. Challenge accepted, it's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stressed it. Got G-O-D on me side, ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like bowling half pint, call strikes, don't cut her. Attracted to the mind, but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. I am Mrs. Best. We have James, who is also the best. He is here for the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Thank you.
James.
Hi.
We are here to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami. Season 5, episode 24. Stunt Queen. None of these bitches stunting on shit. I'm having to curse so soon, but whatever.
Okay, we gonna mess with our monetization, but oh well. Because look, Mona. I'm too early. That's the next recap, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where I'm gonna say Mona. But in this case, Mona, really, this is the cat. Oh, okay, fine.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But we're gonna get into it. This episode was just a lot of stuff that, for me, like some of it was stuff that you just like really shouldn't play with, and then the other half of it was just like not believable. In the words of my husband, it was almost like watching a telenovela. If you know, you know.
Real comparison, because really it was
damn near. So we start the episode off this time with Alan because they're in the Dominican Republic. He comes and everybody scatters when he arrives because everyone's kicking it. Last time Alan was around, Amara lost her temper as she always does, start taking off on him, doing all this stupid shit. They end up talking and he says some things that are true. I mean, Alan's not a good baby's father. He's not a good baby daddy. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I personally feel there is no excuse for fathers to not see their kids. My mom was unfortunately that woman when my parents split and divorced. She was that woman. I used to hear her saying, like, you know, that now you can't see your kids. Like, she would use the kids as a weapon. My dad did not care. Even from jail, he found a way to see us and to fight in court. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I don't care how difficult she is, how crazy she is, how many times she done flattened your tires or came to your job. I don't care if she told your mama she was fat and a hoe. I don't care. It has nothing to do with your kids. Nothing. So just want to put that out there. But he was right about what he said. Amara blows up, cannot keep cool when it comes to difficult conversations. And then he makes a comment. He's like, oh, I had kids with the worst woman. She wasn't the worst woman when you was.
Okay, that's what I was like, yeah, it was fine when, you know, you was hitting
she was folded over.
And you didn't know, right, when she was lifting them legs up, I'm sure, doing a push-up on you. I'm sure it was fine then. I'm sure it was all great and glory.
James said doing a push-up on you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I hate when men do that. Like, I hate when men want to call a woman crazy because literally the lie that you fed her is some bullshit that you got caught up with. And now she's angry, which I'm still blaming her. I'm not saying she's exempt. But what I'm saying is men sometimes feed women promises and ideals and things of that sort, and they hold on to them. They do. They hold on to the possibility, especially if they come from the traumatic life that she's come out of. They hold on to the glory that they found something that is different, that is going to work, that is, you know.
The thing with Amara, though, that doesn't apply to her. It applies to a lot of women, but not to her. She knew he was married when she got with him. She also knew that this was, she met him and they start flirting at that time. She was still with MJ. Even if y'all was having problems in your relationship, that was still the friend of who you were dating at the time.
True.
And I know some people, it could be real easy to say it's her karma. I don't think it's her karma. I think what's happening is just what she asked for and just what one would expect when they get with someone the way that she did.
Yeah, I don't agree that this is karma either. I just feel like, yeah, this was definitely somebody who pulled the okey doke over you and you fell for it. And you should have learned after the first baby that this wasn't the situation, sis. Back up. But you had two more beautiful babies for him. And I don't know what he would have promised you to make you fall for that again. I just don't know what that would have been because that's crazy to me, especially you knowing and you coming on national TV and knowing he has a wife already. That's crazy to
Yeah.
me that you would even think that that would have been an ideal situation because somebody let me explain something to y'all ladies who because a lot of women are falling for this shit, and I don't understand why. When a man tells you, "Yeah, I'm about to leave my wife, it's hard right now," it is not that fucking hard. If you wanna go, you will be gone.
Yeah, I always say that when it comes to somebody wanting you, not wanting you. If a person wants you or likes you, they're going to come towards you. They're going to do the work. Hell, you might have to tell them to fall back a little bit if
Mhm.
same feelings. But if that's not what's happening, that's not what's happening. Alan,
Because you got girls like, "But he be at my house every day. He don't really love
matter.
her."
That don't matter. So do them roaches, hoes, and y'all
I
ain't.
always tell women this, and Imma say it on this platform as well. Imma tell you, ladies, let me explain something to you. If you're in the man who is still binded with the other woman, legal paperwork. If it comes down to you and him are in a car accident, you survive, but they still trying to ask you, "Oh, you're not his wife? Oh, we need to call his wife." There is nothing more embarrassing than a hospital that has to call his wife to make the decision of whether or not he lives or dies right in front of your own fucking face.
My
Well, not in
husband
front
works
of your face. You got to be
in the
5
hospital.
feet back. You can't even hear the conversation.
You can't legally. Yeah,
So yeah. So you,
it's true
I
too.
mean,
It's true. My husband works in a hospital. He does security, and he is oftentimes the security officer escorting that woman who is not the wife
mhm,
there for them off the premises of the property.
exactly.
So it happens, and he'd be like, "I don't understand why people do this, but it happens." But this is what Amara was gonna. This is what she knew she was getting, and I don't fully feel sorry for her. But Alan is also not shit because he admits to what we've all already known. He says that he does not come to see his kids because of her temper. Her temper, again, is not an excuse to not see these kids. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that you finally admit to us, Alan, that you, are not coming to see the kids. In my opinion, and he does mention to her she's angry because she misses his eggplant emoji. Listen, they're both wrong. I think they both probably miss each other's private part emojis. I also think that they're just both wrong. He shouldn't have been talking to her without a proper divorce. They should have left what they were doing to real estate and business and left it there. That's all I
I
can
agree.
say. So
I agree.
moving on, they discuss their daughter meeting the family, and we find out Alan's mom hates Amara. I'm not surprised.
Me either.
She says the mom thinks that she did witchcraft. I recap. Ooh, something's in my eye. Sorry, y'all. I recap. I did recap. Somebody is texting me. Sorry, y'all. Dang.
They
Sorry.
blowing you up, girl.
I'm like, what is going on? It's me when I'm
Okay.
live that people blow me up. When I'm not live, calls me. Nobody. Nobody. Lord help us. But anywho, his mama think that Amara's doing witchcraft. I recapped the family Chantel. I recapped 90 Day Fiance, the franchise. There are a lot of couples on there from the Dominican Republic. I don't know why. Maybe because it's so close in proximity and there's lots of English speakers there as well. But what is with witchcraft over there? That has to be like a thing because there are a couple, like multiple instances on television I've seen of them thinking someone's doing witchcraft or doing witchcraft to somebody else.
I have never heard such foolishness in all of my life. Um, because here's the thing. Because your chest is hurting, you gonna automatically assume that that's some damn witchcraft when it could just be your health.
We
Like
don't
I feel
know
like
that part, but I just feel like why? What is the obsession with witchcraft?
I feel like they just think that they because they do pray and they are I think the native religion is Catholic there if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. If anybody knows, I don't know, but I do
I'm
I
not
do know
gonna
that they're all praying. They're praying people. They pray, and I feel like they feel like if it's not by God, then it's obviously by some witch or something. But to me, and this is where the world gets ignorant, witchcraft was never really like a in development Christ. Like it was never something that was an intent of evil. Like it realistically is just something that is a mosh posh, and people just named it that because of the charm that it does have. So there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to that. That's why I never really talk about it on my channel, and I don't
I
want to talk
just
about
want
it
the
here. It's
Dominican
just
Republic, like when y'all come onto these American shows, please keep your witchcraft and all of that shit to yourself. I don't like that, especially with Gael and Flo and the Mambo. What if this lady's
yeah.
legit in what she thinks? But I'm just not going to believe her. I have other reasons, which I'll explain at the end of the video. But oh, that annoyed me. But the mama don't like Amara. Here's the thing: Amara says the mom don't like her because of the witchcraft. I don't think it's that. I definitely think it has something to do with the fact that he is married. We'll get into that later. Moving on, Eliza Rain is processing becoming a grandmother. Last time we saw her, she was trying to have her daughter move in, but there were issues because her daughter was put in a situation where she now has a criminal record because of her boyfriend. The daughter says, "Oh no, mom, I'm in love. I'm in love." And Eliza said, "Get the hell out of my house. Let her come back." They made up. She's supposed to be moving into a new house, but there's all these problems. So I don't know. Before we get to her child, you know, she's trying to process it. She finds out from her friend, who I guess also does some management for her. They keep putting friend. I'm like, is he friend or manager? Friend and manager? What is he? But he shows her live that is from the DR by somebody on the cast, which happens to be Shay's dumbass. And they was laughing at Shay because Shay's like, and wanted me to go home, and I'm still here, bitches. And they was laughing at Shay like the rest of us because I don't think
we
Shay,
really
I don't think Shay be realizing how much what she thinks lands does not land and is actually crashing and burning and exploding. I also don't think Shay understands or has the right perspective like the rest of us. Somebody said they don't want you on a trip. So you're laughing like, ha ha, I'm not going anywhere, while you're alone in a room in a country that's sun, beaches, and food. So you look a little simple. You acted real simple, Shay. And they do end up laughing at her live because it's like, then you're laughing and you're being messy, but you're on a vacation. No one wants to deal with mess on vacation, not normal people. So I thought that was funny as hell when the friend brought that up. I thought that was funny. But they move on, and she's concerned her daughter is pregnant at 21. Eliza was not pregnant at 21. She was pregnant at 19. So though 19, technically you're a legal adult, that still is a teen mom because 19-year-olds they don't know anything. But she worries that her daughter's going to lack in mothering as she did for Shamaya. But she finds out she'll be on the cover of Afro magazine. I don't know why they would choose her for the cover. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. When you think of Afro anything, to me, I immediately think Black excellence. Now, Eliza has had success, but it doesn't, to me, represent nothing about Eliza Rain's brand, to me, represents Black excellence. I just don't feel that way. And I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not. I feel like if it has nothing to do with the plastic surgery and stuff. It's not even to do with the fact that she was working in a strip club or anything like that. I don't care about that. It's how loose and how little she seems to give up. I can't get over her. I remember during COVID, laying up with my man, opening up the Instagram and seeing her on that jet being laughed at for fellatioing a bunch of different men. She's got a history of being loose. Those are not the things that represent Black excellence. Like, it's very hard for me to acknowledge her as that, but good for her for being on the cover. Thoughts, James?
Is the magazine out yet?
I don't know. Didn't
'Cause
check.
I want to see the story. I want to see what she said because I agree with you. It was like,
What did you do? What did you talk about?
I feel like there's so many more people in this world that are making so many strides and so many, other ventures of life and income that are less problematic and less, social media hyped. I feel like there's more people out there, and They wanted her. Okay, fine. Congratulations. Hand clap to you. Not being condescending, not being facetious in any kind of way. I'm just confused on who are making these decisions. To not saying that she's not deserving of anything. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I just find it weird that there's so many more that have not been on the cover of that magazine that are less problematic.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I just that's just my opinion.
And you could be like, look at Mama D is a good example. Mama D is messy, does the most on TV, but she was honored by the city. Didn't have too much to say about it because she's humble about what she does and is not totally just known for ignorance. Like, we didn't know Eliza Rain for being a real estate agent. We knew her for being a pass around girl, it seemed, unfortunately. So now we know that she is more than that. And I do want to acknowledge that. You know, it seems like she's trying to learn from her mistakes. I actually don't mind her on this show, and I thought that she would irk me, but she's one of the few people who has an actual storyline that I don't feel is 100% fake. And she has a storyline within her household that doesn't involve drama or making the Black family just look more broken than it could be, or, you know, things like that. So I do want to acknowledge the good she's done on this show, but I just don't feel she should have represented that magazine. Sorry. Moving on. Okay, James about to get irritated. Safaree scene comes on. He's had an epiphany, y'all. He has had an epiphany. Because according to Safaree and his BS, I'm already, when you curse in the first like 5 minutes of a YouTube video, you can't monetize anyway, so fuck it. What the hell was this bullshit? Safaree Samuels. What was this? Why Mona, MT, who is this? VH1, whoever you are, I want to know what this was and why we needed this. Scenes like this show that Safaree's contract is obviously still intact, and y'all can't do nothing about that. Release him from his contract and allow him to go. Release him from his contract and pay him. That's okay if you're late, Naya. You're totally fine. But I felt like this scene confirmed we don't need Safaree on the show anymore. It really did confirm it to me. He basically says that he is back thinking about Amada, and he feels like she's the one for him. Safaree gives us nothing. He gives us nothing.
Such a fucking clown that I just can't. I just can't take it serious. I can't take nothing serious here. I just can't. Like, I'm just laughing hysterically because the epiphany you need to have is going to counseling and enrolling yourself in someone's outpatient care center. That is what the epiphany you need to have, because the way that you move, sir, is not befitting. It is a mess. It is a shame. It is one of those situations where you're like, are you really on this camera saying that you had an epiphany, that you want to marry a woman who just came out on TV saying that y'all really were not together? She just came out saying that she can't trust you. You literally slept with one of her friends, or maybe two. Or who knows?
Child, probably more than that.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? And
Naya must be
pretty much, Naya. But it just makes me feel like you really be on these TV shows playing.
You know what I'd like to add, though, real quick? Sorry to interrupt.
You good.
People keep complaining these shows feel scripted. His ex-wife, who has been publicized and publicly downing him, like literally dragging him for filth, was fired, and it was everywhere. And she said something racist about a people that she has children, you know, she has children by or whatever. Why did they never think to ask him or highlight him discussing the fallout or what it's like or his opinions on that? Instead, they choose to have him peddle this bullshit. And I just,
like we said, Mona, we're not going to play with you this year. We're not going to play with you this year. because you being silly now. This is silly. The fact that you was coming on this camera allowing this man to do this old goofy shit. And then you gonna sit up there and add Marcus to the shit too?
Oh
It's
no,
like,
it doesn't make
uh,
sense. It doesn't make sense. She said, "Is Shay aware of anything?"
nope,
Shay is never aware of.
nope.
Shay doesn't
Shay,
even know what time it is right now. I'm pretty sure, Naya. Shay doesn't know anything. She knows nothing. All she knows is that she has freckles and her daughter's name is Shajaya. That's what she knows. And the Tesla is not registered to her. She knows that also. Moving on. Everybody back in the Dominican Republic is at the club. And while in the club, Amara is Alan. Girl, why do you want this person who's so unavailable? It makes no sense.
I just
But
want to know why she consistently makes a fool of herself when this man is up and down this whole island, pretty much just some of his wild oats. He was with Gael. Now he's sitting up there playing in your face. It's like, what is not clicking? I'm like New York Mama because I was watching Flavor of Love not that long ago. What's not clicking? What is the problem? What is the problem? I need you to what is it? What is the tap thing? It's
I
like
don't even
this, and
feel
then
so. I'm just
like
over
she
her.
like Alan's not here. Alan's not here.
Don't talk about
Yeah,
it.
he's not here, and everything that you thought you was gonna have with him is now gone,
All right.
and it's never going to be. It's never going to be.
Amara is slow.
Yes,
Something's really wrong with Amara. I think she annoyed a lot of people with this episode as a whole. But we see Bobby while Amara's doing all the yap about Alan. Bobby Lights comes over and he's on IG and he sees Fabo, Shay's man that nobody knows and that nobody has even been able to film with. Like MJ, he's gotten to know the cast. He's talked to people. Marcus Brooks, man, he's gotten to know people. He's interacted, right? He's done stuff like no matter how we feel about these men, Safaree interacted will come around. Trick Daddy interacts will come around. Trina will interact and come around. Fabo can't get along with nobody and has not been able to come around. And not because of Shay's funky attitude and the issues that she's having with people, because he just doesn't want to be respectful of anybody that Shay has known or knows that's not connected to him, in my opinion. It's not just her mama. He's so disrespectful. So for Bobby to see Fabo holding Amara's child after the blow up that happened with Shay and Amara was wild. That was wild. So Amara gets upset, and I'm actually with her this time. She's upset. I would be pissed too. Because why is it posted? So I don't think that Shay would harm a child. I just want to make that very clear because I think that's a serious allegation you could put on someone. I don't think that Shay is a danger to children. I don't think that Fabo really, from what I know, is a danger to children. But I think that the same way I'm not a danger to children and James isn't a danger to children, I wouldn't just go pick up somebody's baby and take a picture and post them on the internet.
that part.
That's not okay. You could have said hello to Amara's mom and been sweet to the babies without doing that. But you know that no one likes Fabo. You also know no one knows Fabo. So we have to think of it this way. Shay probably wanted people to think that, in my opinion, I think Shay wanted people to think that, oh, see, my dude's not all bad. He's holding Amara's babies because in real time, fans don't know y'all beefing. We're filming this. I feel like Shay did that to piss off Amara and to also make her man look good. And here's what I don't like. No matter how you spin it, Shay used those babies in a public way, and they do not belong to her. I'm already a person that me and my husband have discussed this. When we have children, because we're likely going to adopt, we don't want our child posted on the internet until they're old enough to have social media and they can post themselves if it's appropriate. But I'm not going to be the parent where you're like, oh, look, a family photo or this and that. Y'all will probably get a Christmas picture, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year from the Herberts, and maybe an Easter bunny once a year. That's it. Listen,
She said,
other
not,
than
not,
that,
not an Easter girl. You crazy. Not an Easter bunny.
I'm serious. Other than that, I wouldn't want to post my kid on the internet. I know some people do, but I also have friends who are okay with it, and I will still ask them when I take pictures with their kid, I'm gonna post it. Is this okay? I don't think you should post children that don't belong to you on the internet without the permission, or at least the knowledge that without the parents having knowledge or giving
I
permission.
just want to know what she was thinking in her right mind, not only to post it, but to allow her man to hold one of those babies when he does not know these children.
To piss off
They
her
are
mom.
strangers. But that's even still, like, even if, like, that's still below the belt, Shay. Like, come on. I'm not. I, I'm not one of those people that feel like you should go so low that you go straight to hell for a
Yeah,
reaction out of somebody. I'm
yeah.
not that kind of person. Like, there's things that take it too far. Shay has common sense. At least she's supposed to. You know that that was not a good look for your man to be holding this stranger kids. Like, these are strangers to him. These babies don't know this man.
Especially
That
when they
is,
told you to leave.
yeah, especially, yes. Especially when she told you to leave. She did not want anything part of you. You seeing her mama, it should have been a hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Move on. That's what it should have been. It shouldn't have been, hey, mama, let me hold the babies. It shouldn't have been none of that.
Yeah.
If you
And
was on the outs with her mom.
it's crazy to me that that would even happen. But, honestly, I believe that Shay said what she said to Estelita with ill intentions. I don't believe she
Hmm.
was talking about a sugar daddy. Um,
Hmm.
Shay
I
has
agree.
Shay has a history of going below the belt prior to the inception or creation of Love and Hip Hop as a franchise. She has been doing this. Go back to Flavor of Love. Some of the stuff she said and did when she would, who was it? That girl Crazy? Was that her name? The one who
I
was trying to
believe so.
sell her demo or whatever. Shay is known to do too much. James brings up often the interview that Boots recently did with Oliver Twist, where Boots did. I did have a chance to watch the interview and explained a lot of things about Shay that we do see today. What I will say, Amara, that's not cool. And to Fabo, you know what? I'm not even gonna address him. Moving on.
I wouldn't either because because he's not worth. It
He's
won't go no
not.
farther. It won't go farther than his nose. So yeah, that's just
I
what it
just
is.
let everybody know too, just so like it is uncouth to just post pictures of underage people without the permission or consent from
Of the
them,
parents.
their
Mhm.
family, all of that. You shouldn't
Yeah,
just be posting other people's kids, even if you're in the picture like that. It's just rude. Get permission first, and knowing you're not in a good place with this person, we can agree that Shay was being shady, and that's not cool. Um, on the side, Gael is telling Trick Daddy to keep his nieces away from her. His nieces being the Hollywood twins, who really, I did not want to see them on this show, but they haven't been given much camera time. They're not talking too much. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care.
they
Uh,
remind me of them twins that was on the movie ATL, where they just there, and we see them every now and then doing a he and a joke. That's what they remind me of. So they haven't bothered me that much either. Why did you say it?
yeah, they're just there. So I don't mind it. But Gael apparently minds them because we see a scene after Gael says that she doesn't like that the twins are, saying stuff to her, I guess telling people not to trust Gael. We see the clip and the twins was basically sitting with somebody and they didn't like what Gael did. That's messed up. You're on her trip. You're not even supposed to be here. You're the plus one of the plus one. You're not supposed to be here. Uh, so I mean, I can understand why the twins would be annoyed. They're sitting, they're quiet. They came just the two of them. They didn't bring Trick's, great friend, which is how he's considered to be, they niece. Like they just sitting there. So I'm like, Gael, why are you gonna make a problem with them? Because she knows that she can't make a problem with Trina. That's done. She can't make no more problems with Hot Topic. Gael done had problems with everybody on
Yeah.
this cast in the DR. Um, but it is what it is. But Gael does try to check Trick Daddy, and he's just looking at her. And I think he had the right strategy. Like, look at her, don't say too much, don't make eye contact, and keep it
Exactly.
Trick is used to crazy people like Gael. But Hot Topic for some reason says she didn't like how Gael was trying to check Trick or came at Trick. She felt like she was disrespecting him. So she takes it upon herself to throw a drink on her, talk about as payback and because of how she disrespected Trick. Let me tell you this. That's a grown-ass man. That's not your man or your dad or your brother or your cousin or your friend.
I'm glad you said it like that because I thought I was the only person that was going to get on because I'm trying to watch everybody else's to see if they felt this way. I'm like, ma'am, first off, the only woman in that room that should have got up and did something is the lady that was sitting next to you. His wife, Joy. They refused to get a divorce from each other for whatever fucking reason. Who knows? That's the only person that I would accept. I wouldn't even accept Trina going over and throwing a drink. Joy, yes, because there's legal paperwork that binds them together. That's the only person that should be throwing a drink at Gael if it was really that necessary to do that, which I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I don't think, as long as Gael did put her hands on him, it did not warrant you throwing that drink. But if anybody was to throw a drink on Gael, it should have been Joy. That's
my thing is, a Hot Topic girl, just say that you wanted your get back. Just rather say that she was being disrespectful. She got on my nerves. I need to get back anyway. Don't try and make it seem like you defending a grown ass man, because if anything, Trick should be defending you.
Right.
That's how I feel. But you know, Hot Topic is not a hot topic in my opinion.
I feel like the name is cute, but ma'am, I still do not know who you are, and I
don't know what you do. I haven't seen you do what you do. I've just seen you around these people, and Miami has a habit of putting people on, the cast.
I've lived in South Florida. I have never heard of Hot Topic. Everybody else I've heard of before the show. Like Florence, I've heard before the show. I've heard of her before the show. Who else is on here? Outside of Florence. Zoe, I actually heard of her. I had to be reminded, but I actually heard of her. She was actually added, she actually did an appearance before I even knew she was on the show. Super Cindy is another person that I knew before she got on Love and Hip Hop. So it's like I can't put Hot Topic in all of that. I can't. Yeah. Not to say she doesn't have any relevance. I'm not saying that at all. But I was definitely in clubs in Miami, and I've never seen that lady.
Well, I'm not surprised. But she threw a drink, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's our opinion on that, y'all. We gonna move on. Like the video if you haven't already. Moving on, Amara then asked her mother about, how she allowed Shay to post the kids because her mom was the one watching the kids. And her mom says that she was ambushed and didn't think that Shay would use the kids in like a cruel way. Like she knew they wasn't cool, but she didn't think that she would be rude. Like, if that makes sense. Like, even if you fall out with somebody, you're still gonna be respectful to their parent. You'll still say hello, I guess. But here's my thing.
I'm sorry. Let me explain something to anybody, because this is my opinion. If we are on the outs and you happen to see my mama, hello is the only thing you could say to my mama. That's the only thing you could say to my mama. I would prefer, if anything, you just act like you didn't see her. That's how I'm gonna look at the situation. So,
listen, my thing is, maybe in the DR, Amara, get a nanny. Like, because I'm sorry, I just feel like when your kids gonna have to eventually get out into the world. Your mama can barely speak English. She probably didn't know what the hell Shay was saying. Shay probably said something hella fast.
She probably didn't know it was Shay. That's what I'm thinking. Like, she probably didn't know who that was, all that hair. She probably didn't know who that was.
She's like, they all have wigs. Listen.
Okay, she probably, that's like, let's give her some grace. She probably didn't know who that was coming up to her. Yeah, all of hell. She probably thought that was Brooke.
Well, Amara just get mad at her mom, and it's like, why would you do that? You don't just let people grab the baby, because she has a point. You have to, you can't just, Shay can't just snatch the baby up out her hands. Like, a baby has to be released or passed on. So I'm just looking like, either way, if you have to worry about your mom giving the baby to people that you don't know or whatever the hell, Amara, that part, Shay's wrong, but you need to talk to your mom and prepare her and make her understand, as at one point she was your little manager and she's been with you since season 1. You are a
She was the
celebrity to some
manager?
extent. You're a celebrity to some extent. So your
No.
mom, thank you, Shayna. Your mom should know better than to just hand your children off. Your mama needs to act like not just a nanny and a grandmother, but
Yeah.
she also needs to be security. Personally, like
Mhm.
I've had my god kids, Leona's kids. I've had her kids with me a lot, specifically Peyton when she was a little baby. That was my dog or whatever. But I remember being like in Oakland in the deep, kicking it or whatever. And I see one of her cousins. She's like, "Oh, the baby." I didn't let the cousin hold the baby. I don't care if you're blood related. I don't give a damn. Can I just take her around the corner to see our Leona ain't brought her back? No. Because then that's coming back to me. Don't touch them. I held on to that child for dear life. Listen, when it comes to people's kids, if they're not your kids, don't post them without permission. And
Right.
if you have kids and you're in the limelight or not in the limelight, whoever you have your kids with, whoever's watching them, whether it's a family member, a friend, whatever, let them know like this. Don't
And
don't
see,
let me.
you know, it's funny, and I'm like that. When I moved here, I would never forget. One of my friends was getting married, and she had the wedding at her sister because they do that shit. They do backyard weddings out here. And her sister, her sister had 4 kids, and they were all under the age of 5. I don't know how the hell she did it, but she had 4 kids under the age of 5. When I tell y'all, she was literally handing babies off to people like no other. She even gave a baby to me, and I'm like, I don't never met her in my life. Did not know these babies whatsoever. She goes, "Oh hi, up here you go, take this." And I'm like, "Girl, come get your baby." Like I'll never forget
Dave
that.
said no.
Girl, come get your baby. Because well, at first, you know how you don't want to be like, "Oh, what you doing?" So I took the baby gracefully, but I'm like, "Girl, come
This
get
is
your
James.
baby." Yeah, come, girl, come get your baby. I don't know you. She didn't even know my name. She just literally handed me the baby. It was like, okay, you ratchet because there's no way because I didn't.
You had
And the
that
baby
many
was
kids, though.
adorable.
That many kids, though. I understand that. But Amara just got
No, you don't pass no baby to no stranger because I couldn't like no, I have never met this lady. Like I'm at a wedding in my like nice shirt, tie, and everything. And imagine someone coming up to you and
so
here,
you
take
weren't in the
this.
wedding party?
No, I was not. I was a guest.
So
I
she came
literally
as a
I had
guest
got
and
there.
handing off kids?
Yeah, she literally walked in the door, all them babies. She was by herself. Like she had 2 in the stroller. She had one on her hand, and the other one was just walking, and she was pushing the stroller. And she gave the baby to her brother. She goes, "Here, take this baby." And then she was unhooking. She had twins. She was unhooking one twin. She gave one baby to like an aunt, and then she saw me sitting there, so she was like, "Here, take this." And then like literally went to yes, like that. It was literally. I was like, "What the hell?" Like I'll never forget that. So that's why I said, y'all. I'm really big on that. That taught me there, like, never, like, no, that's wrong. You never do that. But I will never forget that. I was 19 years old. I will never forget that. When she didn't, I don't know if she thought I was somebody else. I don't know what she thought, but she literally
Crazy.
just handed me this baby. And I'm like, girl, come get your baby. Like, I don't know, y'all. The baby was adorable, but no,
No,
no.
that's wild. That's wild. But leave it to parents, though. Leave it to parents. What's the common thing you hear from my can't nobody tell me about being a parent? Or if you don't have kids, you don't know. I do know that you
You know
shouldn't
what?
be
That
handing
actually
your
happened
child
to me
off
too,
to
Naya.
strangers. Like,
You just
stop.
reminded me of another time. A lady did that. We were at an interview at a yes, at an interview of all places at a real estate firm. I will never forget. I was 19 that year as well. I don't know. That was the year of people giving me their babies. This lady had an interview, and I'm thinking she's a client. I did not know she was going for the interview, so they called her name, and she said, "Excuse me, sir, hold this real quick. I need to go do my interview." And and I'm like, so she literally runs to the room, and I'm like, and that baby just sitting there, just moving and, just
Listen,
chilling with me on the lap.
that's crazy because you don't know people there, but I do respect her for still going to the interview because there are a lot of people
She got
who,
the job too, which was crazy.
yeah,
She got the
but
job. Me and her both got the job, and I remember I had to quit because I had another job. But I
mm,
remember she did get the job. Like she did. She said that she has no help from the father, and She got a
Yeah,
real estate license and she needed to get this job and she had to do it. So she had no babysitter. She had nobody. So but
yeah.
she said, because you black, I knew you wasn't gonna touch my baby. That's why I was like, I'm going to.
That's
I
even
said,
worse. Listen,
"Yeah,
it don't matter what color somebody is, where
you
they
don't
come
do that.
from.
No, you don't do that." So, but Nai reminded me of that story because I remember that lady told me that same thing. Hold this baby, I gotta get this interview. Didn't
Mm-mm.
know me from nothing. Didn't know me at all. And I'm thinking she's a client about to go look for a house. And sure and behold, she was trying to get a job.
Lord. Please stop handing your kids just off to random people.
Right.
Please
Yes.
don't do that. This is why we have kids traumatized and then they grow to be adults and then the cycle repeats. So let's make better choices. Lord have mercy. We also learned from Amara when she's meeting with her mom. She's done with Shay, so she says, and she says that her dad and his side of the family will be at the party, which is interesting because y'all know Amara's mom comes to life when it comes to that man. But moving on, Brooke saying she's concerned she hasn't heard from Marcus because he wasn't answering calls or texts. It turns out he was on a flight and he pops up with what is the little girl's name? Shy, their little daughter. She's so cute. Another little girl that was adorable, cute baby, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So Marcus
Yeah.
pops up. I don't really care too much about that. I would have had my man come too if I seen Trina and Gael. And if I had to look at Gael's face for that many days, I'm bringing Mr. Best. Like, you're going to come, we're going to party, and we're going to hopefully avoid these people. But Marcus comes, the baby's there, all of that. But he reveals that Safaree is also in the Dominican Republic because I guess Safaree's epiphany told him that he has to propose to Amara La Negra. That's kind of stupid. I don't want no man that tells me an epiphany is what it took for him to know that he wanted to marry me. I want you to know that you want to marry me all on your own, your decisions, your love. I don't want you to have to pray just to figure out if I'm the right person or not. I know that some people do. I pray all the time, so I do believe in prayer, but like, it shouldn't take prayer, you sleeping with my friend, talking about me,
Right.
like, it shouldn't take all of
Yes.
that
No,
for you
I
to
get what you're saying, but it shouldn't take the impressive absolute disrespect of me for you to know that I survived all that to say that I'm worthy now to be your wife. Or that's just crazy to me that that's the solution he came up with.
Yeah, that's all I'm
That's
saying.
crazy. Hmm.
Like, everyone does stuff like in their own way for marriage, but I just don't believe it either, you guys. Like, I just try to
Oh,
recap
we
it,
know. Oh, we know this shit fake.
but I
Cause
don't
he
think
would. Cause
this
ain't he
is
with who he with today? In today's time.
I don't know.
Cause we know he ain't with Crystal no more. So we know that is gone. I forgot who he's with in today's time. They just announced it somewhere.
I don't know. I can't keep up with these people, y'all. I really can't. They get on my last nerve. It was a
Who?
lot to even watch this, honestly. But he claims he wants to propose. I'm laughing at my note. Safari says he wants to propose. Parentheses. I believe this is bullshit. In parentheses, my little notes. Anywho, basically, Safari says that. Well, Marcus says that Safari says that he prayed to God, and God told him to marry Marta. So that's what he's gonna do. Safaree, is that what happened when you got with Mena? Because this is looking like a rush proposal as well. A pattern of patterns, if you get what I'm saying.
It's like
And why did you propose to two women that you yourself don't even seem that interested in? But you was with Nikki for over 10 years, my guy. No marriage, no nothing. So I'm just kind of like, I don't.
it's given he doesn't want to be alone when he gets home.
He wants something cooked.
Yeah, he wants something cooked, and then he want to go out there and do what the fuck he want to do, and then come home and do it there too. And it's like, see, I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with that because you could just be single
Mm-hmm.
and then go and then hire you a cook and have a home cooked meal there. And if you want to sleep with Aunt Jemima, then go ahead and so be it. Who cares? But we not finna act like you just this catastrophic and wanting to marry somebody because you love and God told you, like, that doesn't make sense. And that's a damn shame that you would even fix your mouth to even say that.
Also, you know, Amada's a girl that, like, even though she does everything opposite of getting what she wants, like her daddy there, you could have like slid
Well,
by.
even still, you know, fundamentally, she's not ready for this.
Oh, I love that song, Naya. It's just you and your head. I love Pink.
Yes, I do too.
Oh, do you?
Mhm.
Oh, this is why I love you. You're so great. This is
Well, my favorite Pink song, unfortunately, and it has nothing to do with anything I've ever been through, is actually "Sober." That's actually my favorite Pink song.
I love So What because it was just
Mhm.
toxic. And then
And
they
I love
ended
"There You Go," the very first one, the very first single.
Yes, I love her. I want to see her one day. I haven't done that yet. Look at Naya getting a sidetrack. I'd rather talk about
Right.
Pink than that bullshit though, because obviously it's not gonna go anywhere. But that's what you and your Hannah's that was a good project though. That was a great year for music also.
Now that's on stuck in my head now. Okay. Thank you,
Right.
Naya.
We'll be dancing around the living room later cleaning.
Mhm.
She says sober gets you emotional.
It do, because, like, when you really like, there's been days, I'm telling y'all, I've been home for a month now. There have been days where, like, I literally can't get the emotion out of me. That song and a couple of other songs help me get it out. Like, I could definitely say that song, dude, but "Why Not Me" by, our girl Tasha Page Lockhart. And if you watch my channel, Growing Gospel was one of the
Her
first shows
voice
that
will
I
make
ever
you
did.
cry by itself.
Her story makes you cry. I'm like, damn, I ain't been through shit compared to her. Damn. But Why Not Me by Tasha Page Lockhart, if anybody has ever heard that song, you like definitely feel the emotion. So that's that song and another song. And Why Not Me is definitely the ones I go to and I need to get emotion out of me.
Oh, Lord. That's why music is healing. Music is so healing. Check out one of our music review, y'all. So I do them every single week. Every week. And we have interviews and reactions and all of that. So if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who do music, send them my way. It's free. Most of it. Anywho, Diagree says we may have to do a mental health check-in. I know I could use it. I was considering doing something like that, like not on live per se, but like on Patreon for the people. I wouldn't charge people, but you know, like something like that. I do think it's good to check
I
in
need
with.
to kind of come up with a concept because sometimes when it comes to mental health, depending on what's in the discussion, I do like to keep those things private because
Mhm.
generally speaking, I don't want you to share your personal business like that if you're not really ready to, because this is a public platform. But then also sometimes sharing it may bring you back to a negative space.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not trained in that situation is all. So she is. But at the end of the time, we want to protect her license as well. So the thing of that is that, I would love to do something where we may have topics and we discuss it. And if it can relate to you, then
We
fine.
could
But
do a
I
mental health check without being live or anything. Because I've done some discussions with people just create a recording on StreamYard, share it, everybody can talk, nothing has to be recorded.
okay. I'll look into that. But I still want to keep people protected.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. Either way, as long as people are acknowledging mental health, I think it's beautiful. But moving on, this is what's happening with Safari, y'all. We're gonna move on from the foolery. The next thing they show us is Eliza Rain, who actually has a storyline. And she is at the photo shoot for Afro Magazine with her daughters. I know one is Shajaya. I cannot remember the name of
Rain.
Rain. Okay.
Hmm.
She
I
gave
remember that because I literally was on Toya Wright's page and her daughter's name is Rain as well. And that's how I was able to remember. I was like, wait, I was just looking at somebody else named Rain. I said, that must be a very popular
she
baby
gave
name.
her daughter the second part of her stripper name. Because isn't she Eliza Rain? That's her professional name.
I'm not going there with you.
That's what I just noticed. I'm not even trying to be messy.
I know you not. I know you not, but I didn't think about it like that. I
I
did
just
not
did it
think.
in my mind. I'm like, oh my God. How do you explain that when your kid is 16 and you're like, don't have sex, be abstinent, all the shit they tell us when we're a teenager. Meanwhile,
My
go
mama
to
did tell me that.
college.
My
Why
mama
is
did
my
tell me
name
that. My mama
Rain,
said, if you have
Mom?
an urge, just know, just use protection. I ain't ready to be no grandmother, and it is what it is. I know you gonna do it at some point.
Listen,
So
My mama was so ignorant with that. She told me sex felt like a roller coaster. At the time, I was scared of roller coasters, so I avoided that shit like the plague. But then when it came time, I was like, oh, my dad actually gave me the birds and the bees talks. And it was like, looking back as an adult now, I'm like, it
Well,
was
see,
wildly
what's funny
appropriate.
is my friend Grace, literally, her daughter is 16 this year. And they are just now having the conversations with her because she asked them, she was like, what is sex like? Because I have a boyfriend and we have been curious. And
That's good.
well, because there's no secrecy in there. How they raise their kids, literally, they're military kids, literally. But she told her mom, and then I remember sitting in the room like, I shouldn't be here. But she go, no, you definitely should be here because you're the objective. Sit down. I'm like, well, I got to sit down. But they pretty much told this is what they told her, their daughter. They said it is going, if he does it the correct way, it is going to feel amazing and you're going to want more. But he has to always be protected and you always need to make sure you're in a safe space. And if you don't want to do it on a particular day, no means no, and he needs to understand that. And I said, that is not how my mama told me. That is not what mama told my sister. That is not. Why is you telling? She said because I would rather her know that it's a okay thing to do, as long as you're protected and as long because I would rather her me say no, stay away from it, and then her going and doing it and then end up pregnant and stuff. So I don't know how. I don't. She ain't told me if it happened
That's
yet.
either way. That's better than my husband's mama knocked on the door, threw condoms in while we were doing it.
No, and that's the
So
thing. We
it's
need to
like,
start. I
whoa,
think, yeah, because my dad did the same thing to me. That's how he
okay,
said he just threw
great.
me the condoms and goes, "Look, you at that age, so I just want to let you know." But he didn't really tell me like, okay, well, look, this is what happens. Like, for me, I'm never gonna have kids, y'all. I just come to that conclusion. And hell, by the time if I do have a child, hell, by the time 2029 or 2055 happen, them kids probably know more than my ass would ever know. But I'm just saying, for me, I don't think I would ever show my kids with experiences and telling them that it's bad because I know it's not a bad thing.
It's just about telling them in an appropriate way. Shielded kids is not. You're just gonna make them want to go towards what you don't want them to go towards. Like,
Right, and I feel like if you tell them that it's good and it's everything, they're not gonna have that expectation that they have to desire it. Maybe they'll have it, and you hope that their experience was bad, thinking like, okay, well, it's not as good as you said it was gonna be. It was horrible. Then they'll probably never want to have it at that time. Maybe they'll wait a couple years. You kind of have to, kids. You have to try to know if your kid's smart. I would have my mom told me that that's probably would have happened with me. Oh my god, it was the worst thing
it's
ever.
better than a Costco
My first
size
time,
box of
because
Magnums.
my first time was horrible.
That
It was
that
like one of
that
the most
traumatized.
horrible. Mm, both men and women, my first time was horrible.
Huh.
So, yeah, my first time was horrible. It was horrible. My first time was 16 and it was horrible. I remember we were at the Marriott at the Oakland airport because my girlfriend at the time was grown. So I was doing some illegal shit by like have one. She was doing illegal shit. I was the underage, but yeah, my girlfriend was grown and was flying in from home from Southern California. Didn't want to tell her parents she was in town, so she got a room at the Oakland airport 'cause she was gonna fly back out to LA that same day. Did it there. It was horrible. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing, and that's just really what it was. It was terrible.
It happens. It does happen. Her daughter's pregnant though, so her daughter's gonna have to figure out all of these things like
And you could
quick.
tell that conversation of sex never came up between the two. You could
Well,
tell.
she says she lacked, and I'm pretty sure that that's one of the areas that her mother did lack in. Naya said, "I remember thinking, why people hype this up."
Yeah, because in high school they did. Like, yes, especially.
I knew it was all a lie. In high school, I was one of the few people who did not give in, and when I did, it was not to no little raggedy mountain boy. Sure wasn't. I just could tell that all of my friends, like I was taught it's okay to be a nerd. You don't have to be super hood or trendy and all this stuff. More so, you're in school so you can be okay as an adult. Fuck them people. That's how my daddy was. So I didn't follow all of that. Everybody started having sex at the same time in high school, and they were all disappointed, stressed out, or pregnant. So that taught me
Well,
avoiding.
we have to understand. I don't think no one told us we're not gonna know what we're doing, and I think nobody tells us that. And I think that's what parents are like. Well, first off, you're not gonna know what you're doing because you don't know your body. So first off, that's number one. Number two, protection is always nice because we known a girl that had 6 abortions in high. I think it was 6. It might have been more.
I know
I
someone who's
just
had more. Yeah, it's wild.
yeah,
But
yeah.
people
It's
people do that. But Eliza's daughter, you can tell she's just not ready. She feels like her mom has not gotten to know her boyfriend. She does not know why her mom doesn't like her boyfriend. I'm like, why would your mother like the fact that
it's
someone
like,
who
okay, if you was 16 saying
loves
this, I
you is
right.
has put you in jail? It's
Yes.
not even fully about age in this case. How can someone love you if they'll allow you to put yourself into situations where you go to jail? Like, I done been through stuff with my spouse as well, where he may have done some things that was not legal, and he did his time. So y'all leave him alone, leave his best alone. But I used to be like, I'll help you, this, that. Wouldn't let me. Go away from me. Well, I want you somewhere else. And if someone cares about you, and he was young at the time, like 19, so the same age as this little girl, if a boy loves you, it don't matter if he's 21, 41, 70, or fucking 12. He's not going to put you, or she, if it's a girl or whoever you're dating, they're not going to put you in situations where you can get yourself into trouble.
Well,
Like,
your safety is jeopardized. That's what we're trying to say. Like the safety is jeopardized, and that's
yeah,
exactly what she did. And I think as I said, the little girl maturity level is definitely not there.
no,
So
at
I
all.
just think that that's where she messed up at.
Yeah.
Naya,
And
that
she's
is crazy as hell. I'm reading this comment from Naya. That could you imagine them out eating?
wait, your high school had a daycare. Oh my God. It was like that. I know Tennyson had something
Yeah, they
similar.
had like a program. It was like
And
across
in
the
real
street or
time
something.
today, they have like, it's sad. And I know that a lot of the high schools out here, they're just starting to put Planned Parenthoods next door because in California, you can go there, you can get an abortion, you can get condoms, you can get pretty much everything that you would need, treatments, but you don't have to get consent from your parents out here to do it. So I guess it's good to do, but it's like there's got to be something else we can do to prevent them from getting to sex before they're too young versus just giving them the tools. But that's another topic. Um, that's wild though.
That
But her
is.
daughter, to get back into the show, her daughter thinks that catching charges is like just like a simple mistake, as if like, oh, I wrote the wrong this or I forgot to add flour to this. Like, no. Um, I don't know. The daughter's just very immature. She has no plan and she moves on. I actually thought Eliza handled her well because she moves on and she's like, all right, well, I'm not going to want to know. I mean, you have to understand my perspective and give me time. But what about the school part? That's the part I don't understand because you can be in love and go to school. You really can. Um, and the little girl says she just doesn't know. I don't know what I want to go to school for. You don't know what you want to do with your life, but you know that you want to have a baby. If you don't know what you want to do with your life and how to achieve or survive without your mama without ending up in jail, then what are you going to teach this child? Now, I'm not saying the girl's not going to be able to learn because she's going to be forced to learn essentially, but I just hope that her daughter doesn't regret not going to school, because I feel like if she goes to school now, before she has the baby, she'll have a shot at finishing school after she has the baby. But if she has that baby and babies are fucking hard, and then she ends up in school and college is hard as hell, balancing the two with no life experience is going to be very difficult. So that's all we're saying. Doesn't mean the kid will be less loved or anything. Shayna commented, I was 21 when I was pregnant with my son, the same age as her daughter. Our kidneys were completely different. Our mindset, I was like, our kidneys, our mindsets were completely different. Yeah, you change. I don't think anyone will say that they think the same that they do past 25 plus as they did under there. I don't, and if you do, then something's wrong. You should grow. So it doesn't, I don't know. I'm glad Eliza's supporting her, but her daughter just does not have a clue. She doesn't have a clue, and I hope that she gets one soon. And I want to see this little boy because I know he look raggedy, y'all. I know he look raggedy. They always get pregnant by the raggedy looking ones. So I want to see the little boy and where his family is or something.
Mhm.
I want to see something. Shayna said, even her right now, I was so much more mature. She's like, yep. You could tell her daughter, like you could tell she says and admits that she lacked mothering, but then at the same time,
No, this is coming off more so she digmatized.
the daughter.
Yes.
Oh
This is
yeah,
what
that's clear. That's
this
clear.
is what this
But she
coming
can't name
off of
one
because
good attribute about the boy.
yeah. You like
Just
it's like, come on, you can't say, well, he made a mistake and he's about to get his life together. He's been join some
all
at
she
trade
says,
school.
he's not like that.
It's like not like what?
Not
It's
right.
like that's not like what? Like exactly. What are we talking about here? Because all I know is the little boy had your ass in jail. That's all I know of him. So like, what the hell else am I supposed? Like that couldn't have been my child come to me. Because when I tell y'all, they would have to. They probably would have cut on just like, oh, James doing way too goddamn much. Oh my god, let me cut these cameras off because
This is
no,
why I be scared of teenagers specifically, like teenage
yes,
girls, just because I know how I was as a teen. That she can't tell us nothing, but I know the little boy Raggedy, and I feel like his dreadlocks ain't twisted because I know he got them. Moving on. I also need the little girl to understand this. You want to be so grown, right? And you don't want to hear your mama mouth, but you want to live in her house now that you're pregnant. She was real willing to get peaceful with her mama when she got pregnant and all of that. I agree with Shayna's comment. I know I read that hella
me
fast.
too.
She said it does not seem like he will be around long after the baby is born, and Eliza is not going to help her take care of that baby. I think Eliza will provide her shelter and nothing else.
And I wouldn't either. She
Yeah.
wouldn't because let me tell you, Marie Monroe is the only fool I know on national TV that will do this shit. What I tell you, um, that little girl will be at Costco and they have BJ wholesales out there. BJ wholesales getting her a job with some benefits. We not finna play like this. Since you want to have this baby and you don't want to be no nurse no more, you finna go to BJ's wholesale. You finna work at the customer service booth because you can go right to the booth and actually fill out your job applications, right? Just like you can at Costco. We're not finna play these games. You finna get you a job and you finna work.
Like James. No, my mom always said, and she maintains this rule for all of my siblings, only one is left in the house. You want to have a baby and have it up in the family house or the house, get a job and go to school. And we're not babysitting. And you're gonna have your own cabinet for food. The only person getting free water or milk is that baby. And that's that. I mean, if you want to make the decision to have to have a child, then you make the decision to take care of that child, regardless. I'm sure Shayna and Naya, though I'm not moms, I'm sure when y'all decided to have your kids, like, yes, you hope and people hope, even if you marry, like, oh, the dad's there, whatever. But as a woman, I feel like when you have kids, like, just thoroughly prepared to take care of that kid and be the sole person responsible. If
You
you
know
have
what
no
I'm saying? I
baby,
have yet to see a man, and this is sad, whether it be on reality TV in general or in real life, I have never seen a man step up to a plate to take a woman from her childhood home, house her, feed her, clothe her, and the baby, and still allow her to have her career and go and do what she wants to do. Men, where are you at that are like this? Because
nothing.
all I see is lost little boys who go out and feel like when they made a baby with this one, he gonna make a baby with the other one. And then
I
you
think
two
there
women are
are
fighting
a
over it.
lot of men out there doing well. It's just that there's so many. There's so I think that when it's kind of like reviews in general, like Yelp
I
reviews,
know they're out there. I know
more
that they are.
inclined to speak up when it's negative versus when it's positive. And I think if we change
No,
that
I know
narrative,
they're out there because I went to elementary school with a girl who got pregnant at 16. Her baby daddy, as soon as he got 18 and could go to real estate school, that's what he did. Got them some land, built them a house, and told her to come on with the baby. And
mm-hmm.
told her parents, I have a plan. It's only going to take me a year, but I promise you, she will be out of your hands. And he kept his promise. There are men definitely out there. It's just not shown. All society likes to show is the baby mama aspect where he ain't nowhere to be found until he wants some more. And then when he get it, he leave the house for 6 more months and you never see him again. That's the element they want to show of it. That's why I'm saying, where is it? Because I know it's out there and I'm tired of looking at this image of what
I
we're
think
seeing on
it's
TV.
what they say, peace be still. Like peace can sometimes be quiet. Those metaphors, I think that could be what it is. But Shayna, I like your comment, and I think it's very important to see. She said, and she's a Black woman who said it. I have my own place and everything. When she had her baby, this is just a generational curse, and I think that's important
It
because
is.
Eliza's pointed it out. It's clear to see it definitely is generational curse. I have lots of friends that were teen
That's why,
mom.
yeah, that's why she got mad the way she did. That's why, and I
Yeah.
said that. That's why, and she admitted it. That's why she got mad because it was like you didn't want her to do this because you knew what this was going to be. But the
Yeah.
problem is, you didn't make it clear to her that this is what she was not supposed to do.
I want to
So
know when it was during COVID and you could have been at home with your kids while you was in that airplane with Tory Lanez and all the men, because that could be why this little girl's in the same space that she's in. Because even if you become a teen mom, it doesn't mean that the child's going to have less support or the parent's always going to be growing up with the child. Like some people do that and they have that baby and it does change them and encourage them to do stuff. But this little girl does seem lost and it does seem like a generational curse. And I wish her the best, y'all. I really do. And hopefully we'll see more. Now back in the Dominican Republic. Sorry to get back to the bullshit. And like the video if y'all haven't already. We appreciate you. Zoe and Florence meet. Oh, they because we have to talk about Gael again. It's gonna irritate me. Shada FCB said there are far less good men than bad men. Unfortunately, it's been the norm for a while, and the kids hurt the most. Yeah, men have to take a lot of, without getting back into it. There's a lot of accountability that men have to take, especially men of color, not just black men, black and brown men.
it's called rotator sport. They doing it for a sport to impress their little men friends that they like to impress. That's all that shit is. Ooh, I was able to get Sheikah pregnant. Look at she finna have my baby. This and that. Oh, you to play? That's what's up. And then that's all that is. Men love to impress their men friends. I don't know what that's about. And this is the exact conversations they be doing it.
It has
To say
to
you
do
have a baby mama is ridiculous. That is sickening.
It has to do with insecure attachments, we call it, and then it's like other stuff having to do with race, and it's a whole deep subject. But there's a reason behind it. That's why I say they have to be accountable to get past it. But in the Dominican Republic, we see one of the craziest moms we've ever seen on television, Miss Gael's sister, Flo. And I call her a crazy mama because ain't no way in hell my kids will see me dating the family friend, then back with daddy, then see that daddy is sleeping with auntie, and then see that auntie it has gone mad. This family's wild. Zoe and Flo are meeting, and Zoe explains that Gael is oftentimes wrong and causing problems, and she feels like Flo needs to either stay out of it, stop bringing her sister with her places, or check her sister, which I actually think is correct. I don't
agree.
think, yeah.
I agree.
Let me catch the comment. I had missed it. That is true. She says to James, they care more about what other men think than the women that they're laying down with.
Exactly.
Ooh, wait. I think that men need to be accountable, and definitely when y'all start seeing the red flags, women, cut them off. Don't be afraid to dump somebody.
Okay, y'all know what y'all women need to start doing. Listen to me, ladies, because I'm a man saying this. Check the relationship he has with his men friends. Check the relationship. Examine. Because if they're gonna boast in front of them, they're gonna boast in front of you. And trust me, that will tell you everything you need to know. If he's worried about what they impress or if he's worried about what they think, that's not the man for you.
You know what? That's actually a good point you made. When I met my husband years ago, because we met at 16, 17, but like he would be around his little group of friends and stuff. And I thought it to be weird because when I would go around ex-boyfriends and their little friends, they'd be playing Halo and I'd be kind of ignored as a whole. They'd be more concerned about them. But my spouse would like stop, come check on me, offer me food, make sure that someone would give up a seat for me. He would not play. Y'all see my girl just stuck and standing here. Somebody get up. What are you doing? So I feel like that does show you, because I was like way early on. And he has remained that way, even
yes.
Because
how he treats you in front of your friends is how you know he'll treat you.
Yeah.
And just like Shayna just check the mama. Yeah, that's very important. That mama too. That mama relationship is important. If they don't talk to him, that's a problem. If they in their face too much, that's a problem. Boundaries and medium ground, plain level field when they are grown is what you're looking for.
Yeah. Very important. Shayna's just dropping gems. Shayna, we
Okay,
need to do
Shayna, yes.
panel.
Should have had you up here.
Yeah. All right. We need to do that one day because listen, you got him, somebody married, somebody, just find a panel of a bunch of Black people who are fabulous and talk about dating because it needs to be talked about. It's a mess.
We do. We need to start having these conversations. Shayna, if you do that, I will gladly join you. I will.
I'm sorry too, y'all. I'm hot as hell. It's so hot today. And I don't understand.
Just watch who he surrounds himself with. Yep, Naya, absolutely.
Let's see.
And don't marry
Yes.
them thinking that they will change. I've been married before.
You
They get
are the
worse.
company that you keep. That's what I was taught growing up. So I believe that
You
is
know
true.
what, Naya? Oof.
And then as for Shayna's next comment, don't marry thinking it will change. I've been married before. They get worse. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that people do that all the time. They get married.
Marriage makes a person who they really are because it causes them to have to be accountable automatically. So overall, that is absolutely true. And Naya, don't let that scare you. I get that because I'm the same way, regardless if people stay in the marriage or not. I have not seen that many healthy marriages in my life. But at the same time, it does work, and there are marriages that are very healthy.
I
It's
think
just,
people's idea of what a healthy marriage
I
means
was
is
just about to
why
say that.
people often think that they don't see that they're
I think,
seeing
yes,
nothing
that's
but
very true.
unhealthy marriages because you're going to argue, you're going to get into it, there's going to be problems. You just have to decide for now if you're arguing because there's another person involved, then it's like, okay, you got a problem. That's toxic. But if you're arguing because, an example, not to get super deep, my husband's not good with his emotions, child. When I tell you, he is not good with his emotions at all. So we will have arguments. So I'm like, you need to like say more, do more, things of that nature. I feel like those types of things are normal because people sometimes have to work through things that come from whatever he went through in his childhood. But now you shouldn't be hollering and in faces and, doing the most, somebody leaving the home and living elsewhere. Like it's okay to have those feelings of wanting to do it, but if you're actually down at the county courthouse at the clerk recorders, like take me back to where you got me from, undo this marriage, like constantly, that's not healthy or normal. But I think
Mhm.
everybody who's married, they oftentimes trying to play in it too as if it's like always good. And that's something I used to do. And then I'm like, no, why do I need to show people that? Like, so you just have to be willing to like do the work. Don't be afraid of marriage. You'll know if it's the right person. If it's not, exit the marriage. People get divorced all the time. It's there for a
Yeah, and
reason.
don't, yeah, exactly. Don't feel like you have to stay in something because people put these ideals that marriage has to be forever. No, marriage does not. The objective of marriage is to give it the college effort. For those of you who have went to college, y'all know what the college effort is. It is the effort that you want to pass because you're paying out of pocket for those courses, or
Yep.
you're
It's
getting
like
into a whole
pay
bunch of
out of
debt.
pocket for that
Yeah.
certificate of life.
You're paying to succeed. That is the same thing with marriage. You're paying to succeed in it. And what I mean by paying out financially, you're paying with your emotions, your self-being, your worth. You're paying into all of that. And so is the other person.
Mhm.
So, yes.
Yeah. But
And if it's not right, and if you're paying and you're not really seeing the growth, because you're going to grow, you're supposed to. If you're not seeing growth and there's just not much of it that is going around and you're always at a funk and you just feel like it's not there, then leave. Like there's no problem with leaving. Like I I actually have known somebody, I went to college with them. By the time we were 30, they had been married and divorced 4 times.
yeah.
And she
Yeah.
said, I'm gonna keep doing it until I get it right.
Nothing's wrong with that though, because at least they're able to commit. Some people can't. So, I think the
Exactly.
best advice though is if people are honest with their expectations up front, then
hmm
things will go well. I have had the marriage that has not been perfect from the beginning to end because I got with him when I was 16 years old, and I am still with this man. But you
Well,
have to
Shane
grow
was
together. You said what?
Shane is trying to say 4 times is ridiculous.
No,
Okay.
4 times is fucking crazy. I
Well,
agree.
see, one of those times was for financial gain, and I would have did it too.
I'm done with you.
So, if I had the if I wasn't gay then, that's why I couldn't
James
have
was
did it.
like, listen, don't
But
put
if let me tell you, when that girl didn't have to lift a fucking finger, she did not have to do shit. And that marriage didn't end in divorce. Actually, he died, but yeah, it was. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. One of those marriages wasn't a divorce. He actually died, but he made sure she didn't do a fucking thing, but just sit there and just look pretty. That's all
child,
she had to do. He did the
child.
dishes, he cooked, he cleaned. When she wanted something new, he went and got it for her. He actually had 2 jobs. He worked as a realtor, and then he was a day trader in Chicago, so he would fly back and forth every 5 days. He gave her space, like, when she wanted it. But, yeah, he had a heart attack, literally on his way back from Chicago to Arizona. He had a heart attack on getting off the plane, and he ended up dying at the airport.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Well, condolences to shit. When the Shayna set up like, oh shit, I didn't expect it to hit no way. When kids get involved, she says it gets rough. Of course, you can make it work. Of course, you can make it work, but you can't make it work alone. Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
That is very true. Yeah, I agree.
I learned in school when we were learning about the marriage and family counseling specifically, what a lot of people don't like to hear, but it's a statistical fact. And statistics are based on y'all and what y'all do, not based on the scientists. Okay, so leave us the hell alone. But when you add children to a relationship, not just a marriage relationship, any of that, it actually does statistically make it harder for a couple to give each other obviously the same attention, which I'm sure y'all know because y'all are parents. But it's like over 80% of people who end up having kids, like after being together, can end up broken up. It's actually part of the reason the divorce rate is so high. So it's like, to those who have kids and are still making relationships work or marriages work and all of that, good for you, because you are beating the odds. But it is hard, especially those with kids. And I think that's why it's good for people with kids to know what they want, state your intentions, have your expectations out there, like she said before. And that way you avoid wasted time. Shayna said, 3 other times my grandmother was a serial. My grandmother was married like over 9 times, y'all. And she was shallow though. Like, she left them for like shallow reasons. I don't even know if my grandpa was my grandpa. It's real ratchet, but we'll get into that later. Back to the show. Back to the show. Oh, she said kids ain't no joke and people wait until they're grown. The kids know what's true. But this Zoe meeting was weird with her and Flo, but Zoe told Flo what she needed to hear. And Flo says the same stupid shit. Gael don't mean no harm. She must not have meant no harm when she was taking it from your man too, girl. But Zoe tells her, the next time your sister get up in my face, I'ma smack her if she acts up. And I honestly don't blame her, because it's like, if you're not going to do shit, you're going to invite her when people keep telling you, please don't. And then what does Flo say? I'll keep Gael in check. I'll keep Gael in check. And then Gael does it, because you cannot keep Gael in check. Gael is what she wants.
Ma'am, let's be clear. Flo, this lady has slept with your husband. You can't keep her in check, and then came on national TV to boast about it as if it was nothing. You can't control that lady.
You lost
You
control.
the wrong person. You the wrong person. Yes, wrong person to think you help, because you let her run amok in your life. So how the hell do I think you gonna keep her in control when you can't even control your own shit?
And that's the last thing I'll say before we move on from that. Just because you want to forgive Gael, Flo, just because you allow her to treat you like shit, doesn't mean the rest of the world is. So respectfully, I hear you, Zoe. I wish the hell I had to do that to somebody who was a family member of a friend. They got mad because I would give them a ride somewhere. I was like, that bitch, no, I needed that ride. I'll smack the shit out of her next time I see her. I say, you gonna do what? You gonna do what? You better smack me now, because I'm not giving you a ride ever now, stupid. So, that's how people, James is like, what? And I really never gave them a ride again. And they did ask me, y'all, like literally days later for a ride. I hung up. I didn't even speak. I chuckled and hung up quickly. But
good for you. That's crazy. That's a crazy ass story.
I don't know what the hell. People in Oakland are crazy. But yeah, Flo, just because you important, Gael's important, you don't make her important to everybody else. And I think that she's learned that with Zoe. So we then get to the party at the villa that Amara has named after the girls. Nice property. Amara, I don't understand why you would have this party at your home, because this is her actual residence in the Dominican Republic. But then again, you can't do it in the hotel. If I have a bunch of family members that are upset because I married somebody who's married and then made him look like a terrible person on the internet and on TV, I'm sure I would want to do it away from the public too, because they will arrest your ass out there. I seen it happen on another show in DR. The sister threw water at the other sister, and the federal something, whatever they call their police, they came to get their ass. But For some reason, Zoe goes to explain that she doesn't want to have beef with people up to Trina. She says that she wants to learn from her damn. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. She wants to learn how to handle things better, I guess. Good for you. I do like that she used flow. She's like, I don't want to have a stall in my career because I'm having too much drama like Flo. I said that was shady but true.
Yeah.
Flo's career is probably done. But Alan and his family show up to this party. Mara has a conversation with his mom, which was the conversation went nowhere. The mom was just like, you've done things to my son. Amara was like, but your son has hurt me too. The mom was like, yeah, but you did witchcraft on me because she said her chest hurt. And she knows that Amara did witchcraft. Amara says, I did not do witchcraft. Okay. Hello, Leon.
Hi, Leona.
Not recapping looking good and shit.
Okay.
Lord.
She just boasted my ego. Thank you, Leona. Because I was
not call me.
We can't call you. We lie.
That's my best friend, y'all. I will call you when I'm off the line. I will. I appreciate you. But yeah, I don't understand. No, let me tell you this. If somebody gonna do witchcraft on you, don't you think they would invoke or pray for a spell that'll do more than just give you chest pain?
Just chest pain, right. I want all 4 of the tires to be flat on the car.
Right.
I want you to cut your finger when you're chopping up an onion. I want,
right.
I want when you wash your hair, I want some of your hair to fall out and
the water heater will
patches.
never get warm again.
Yep. When I tell you, I want a whole leak up in your house, and when you walk on water. When I tell you, like, I want the gas in your car to get blocked so it won't start. When I tell you
with sugar in the tank.
When I tell you I want your front tooth to be falling out your mouth, what I tell you, that's the witchcraft I want.
You want the front tooth out. Now what the hell? You got to bring their dental issues into it. He want their front tooth go.
Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than when you see somebody that's missing a front tooth. Like, it's different when it's one of the back ones. But there's nothing like
fucking rock. And I wish y'all would stop that girl.
Yes.
Okay? I
want her to fix that so bad. Every time I look at she's such a pretty girl. And it's like when she smiles, I forget about it. So every time it's just shocking me every time. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot.
What shocks me though is when people be like, look, Amina, what do you think of this? Because they know I can't stand that girl. And it was something I seen where she took her tooth out and started fucking it up. I was like, why did you have to take your tooth out to bend over? But anywho, y'all, we get sidetracked. Wait. I'm trying, y'all got me actually laughing. The other Sheree says, hey, toothless people been trending out here looking like crackheads but going viral. I'm so done. Shayna said, there's an epidemic of this society. Damn.
Shayna's not an epidemic. Not an epidemic. I am done with you, Shayna. No, it really is.
Smile and have it there.
Yes, it is not hard. It is not hard to keep up with your teeth. Go to the dentist.
People be thinking like, oh, you won't see it. You won't see it. Because I had a tooth pulled on back in the back somewhere. But I had to because I have wisdom teeth coming in. It's fucking up my mouth. I don't want the surgery. So I told them, you better pull a tooth because I'm not like a chipmunk.
No, we're not gonna start the homeless on tooth. That shit is stupid. I'm sorry. Whoever came up with that name, y'all need y'all asses whooped for that.
Well,
there's no.
She also came up with an accent no one can identify. So but his mama. Ain't nobody doing witchcraft on you, lady.
I'm just saying that was stupid of you to even say. Like, to me, that almost came across as prejudice to me. I am sorry. Like, it did.
No,
like,
they do that out there.
They do. I know. That's why I was like, no, that kind of came off prejudice to me. It did, because it was like, not you telling this Black woman, identifiably Black woman, that she performed witchcraft on you, and you actually sitting here in her face saying, yeah, you did that. I know you did that.
That Alan,
it was like
how to lie from his mother, is what I learned from watching this. I I understand loving your son, being there for your kids, but you have to
Moms like
understand,
this scare me.
yeah, because he's a person and things go both ways in relationships. So yeah, your son was hurt, but what you
Oh,
think,
Leona, stop.
what you think, you better not use it to get rich. I'm so done. I
It's
cannot,
called the movie is called Ready or Not, Leona. That's what they did. Go ahead and watch that.
Lord. But basically the conversation goes nowhere with the mom. So that separates. And then Safari comes in loud as hell with flowers. Her dumb ass is happy to see him. Alan looks upset. His dumb ass is mad. He's like, damn, so I done took care of these kids and I can't even get no ass. Yes, Alan, that's right, because that's the only reason he will be upset. I'm just looking like, okay, so she gives a speech thanking people for being there, which I thought was weird to give after having an argument with the family. Then you're so happy for family time. And Safari interrupts the speech and proposes. We don't see if she accepts or not, but Amara is a dingbat and she will
She
accept this
absolutely accepted
proposal.
that.
She
We
will
know
accept
she
it.
accepted. Yeah, we know she accepted that.
Yeah.
Now, in hindsight, they do make a cute couple. They do. In hindsight. But y'all remember hindsight is 2020. And not all of us believe this shit in the first place. So we know this shit ain't real. But they do make a cute couple. I think they make a better fitting couple than him and Minna. I do. That's just my opinion. If I were to
He never
believe this
looked
was real,
right with
which I do.
Minna. I never felt it looked right, but I don't feel Minna looks right with anyone with that vein and the titties that don't move. It is what it is.
Well,
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's either he look right with Amara or he look right with a man. So it's either
well,
Amara or a man.
all
I'm
I'm gonna
just saying.
say is that's the recap. We are gonna see more with this proposal because when he proposed, she looked happy, and then they showed, they show you what's coming on next week, and it looked like he's still trying to fuck with whatchamacallit, the other girl, Eliza Rain. So it looks like it's gonna be drama. Leona says she liked Erica Mena better in movies.
Don't watch him. Don't know what she doing.
I have
Don't
watched a
keep.
bunch of them on Tubi, and when I
Oh, I
say
didn't know that's what
that
she did.
lady is the worst actress, when I say she was playing a OBGYN delivering a baby, she must have been grabbing the actress's ankle, the hell out of that ankle. It looked like it hurt and was hollering, yes, don't you can. I said, I would request a whole.
Someone else told me that too, Shayna. I don't know. I don't like her, so I don't want to watch anything. I don't want to give her no clout. I don't want to give her no time. I don't want to. I could reserve my energy and watch another movie, which I actually just watched the movie Alone, which everybody needs to watch. That shit was good.
Lord. But yeah, I can't. She has potential though. She just needs coaching for her
Also,
acting.
they typecasted her, is what Leona said. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They typecasted her. I see. Okay,
I
yeah,
mean, what
and
else you
yeah,
gonna
you're
do?
gonna do well when you typecast it. Absolutely, you're gonna do well when you typecast it.
You'll get a
But
check.
yes, you
You
sure
won't win
will.
any awards,
Absolutely.
but you will get a check. Anywho, y'all, as Nia said, that is all, folks. We are done with this long ass recap. We are now going to get into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which I know for sure will go
2 minutes.
faster. Yeah, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was. I mean, we'll talk about it, but I love y'all. Thug life. Remember, you're all beautiful, and yeah, thank you for being here. Adios.
Absolutely.